I know, I can't believe you.
That's it.
Like,
No,
camera
just that,
compliments.
yeah,
Off
no.
camera,
Yeah.
not so nice.
Yeah, no, never. Never.
Gotta keep her grounded.
No, yeah, absolutely. I've seen her go into a rage spiral.
Is Blake Lively fueling a toxic pattern of on-set romances and behind-the-scenes manipulation?
It was hard not to love the movie because you guys are so beautiful to watch that I was just like...
Well, hello.
From hush-hush text messages to unsettling claims around her latest project, the controversies are stacking up fast.
I knew that that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character.
We'll unearth the scandalous details and reveal how these rumors could change everything you thought you knew about her.
And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled.
Blake Lively has spent years commanding attention both on screen and off. From the moment she stepped into the spotlight, rumors have trailed behind her, suggesting a recurring pattern. Whenever she works on a project, the sparks of an off-screen romance tend to follow. Some call it coincidence, others label it a calculated move. Either way, the stories rarely fail to raise eyebrows.
She's completely flirtatious with him.
I'm just shocked at how many lies were told, okay?
Blake Lively completely exposes herself.
In recent months, fans and gossip blogs alike have been abuzz with speculation that her most recent film, It Ends With Us, co-starring Justin Baldoni, may not have turned out how she hoped. So, does Blake Lively really have a habit of falling for her co-stars? Or is this entire narrative just another Hollywood myth? Let's take a deep dive, starting from her earliest days in the industry to the controversies that still surround her.
She really wanted her vision to be included in this, okay?
And no amount of I'm sorry's will ever undo it. Hurt people hurt people.
She laughs and says, oh, did you get beard on me? She doesn't say, oh my God, you nuzzled me and said that I smell good. This is what she's done throughout.
Before the luxury vacations, blockbuster films, and red carpet showcases, Blake Lively was just another aspiring actor navigating a tough and unpredictable industry. One of her earliest known relationships was with Kelly Blatz, a relatively low-profile actor she met during her teenage years. Both had grown up in Burbank, and Blake would later recall harboring a crush on him well before they officially started dating.
She alleges that she's a Me Too victim there. That's absurd.
They briefly worked on a film together called Simon Says. But back then, there was no widespread media frenzy around them. In part, this was because Blake hadn't yet become the household name she is now. Their relationship lasted around 3 years, pretty significant for a pair of teenagers, and ended shortly before the entire world started chanting her name, thanks to a major career breakthrough. Nobody can say for sure what drove them apart, but soon afterward, Blake embarked on a trajectory that would turn her into a Hollywood A-lister.
She wants us to believe this is actionable harassment, what we just witnessed there. You tell me whether that's what that looks like to you.
Some fans look back at this period and wonder, was Kelly Blatz just a teenage sweetheart, or do we see early signs of a pattern? She'd continue throughout her career. Her life changed rapidly once she landed a starring role on a TV show that would shape modern teen drama and redefine how we consume celebrity news.
This person is not an honest broker. I believe her less than ever. I actually disbelieve her fully now.
In 2007, Gossip Girl exploded onto television. Seemingly overnight, the names Serena van der Woodsen and Dan Humphrey were on everyone's lips. The romance between these two characters was central to the show's plot. And, to the delight of fans everywhere, the actors behind them, Blake Lively and Penn Badgley, soon began dating in real life. Almost instantly, the line between fiction and reality blurred. Were they simply swept away by their hours on set together, or did producers quietly encourage their budding romance for publicity?
Wasn't in the best place. I told them that I was exhausted, that I haven't given myself time to recover or time to heal.
Blake herself once admitted that she worried how the showrunners would react if she and Penn became an item. Instead, She discovered that many involved with the show actually embrace the news. On-screen lovers becoming real-life partners often draws more eyeballs and ignites more buzz, which means bigger ratings. Their relationship lasted for about 3 years, though you'd hardly know that from the secrecy they managed to maintain.
A man being fully castrated by a woman who is using toxic feminism to get what she wants, right?
By 2010, they called it quits. So quietly that the production team didn't even catch on right away. In interviews, both remained polite, rarely diving into personal details. Fans have long wondered if career ambitions or deeper incompatibilities led to their split, but no one outside their closest circle truly knows. Still, this romance marked a noticeable step in Blake's public reputation. She was now someone who not only starred in successful shows, but found herself entangled in rumored romances with her co-stars.
Where Blake Lively completely exposes herself and just says it out loud with no qualms. This is what I do. The whole thing Justin's put out in his documents, she just admitted.
Only a short time after breaking things off with Penn Badgley, Blake was cast in Ben Affleck's film The Town. Affleck, an Academy Award winner and established Hollywood heavyweight, had nothing but praise for her. In interviews, he gushed about her performance, making it clear that, in his eyes, Blake brought a special spark to the project.
She, time and time again, she accuses him of doing something, which then when you hear the full context, is an absolute nothing burger. She accused his producing partner. I will happily participate in releasing any further leaks that they have because the truth should be out there. What does she have to fear if she's telling the truth?
In truth, it's not unusual for a director to speak highly of an actor, especially if that actor has the potential to elevate the film's appeal. But the chatter didn't stop there. Observers pointed to interviews between the two, describing them as playful, warm, and maybe a bit too flirty for a standard press run. The speculation ramped up. Did anything more happen behind the scenes?
And here is part of that leaked audio as of yesterday. Take a listen to Justin Baldoni groveling, is the only way to describe it, to Blake Lively.
I want to start with an apology. Man, reading the second part of your message, my heart sank.
Neither Blake nor Ben ever publicly confirmed a romantic entanglement. Yet the timing was interesting, considering Blake had recently ended her relationship with Penn, and rumors tend to swirl in a vacuum. For a while, tabloids latched onto any scrap of evidence, from behind-the-scenes anecdotes to glimpses of them at various industry events.
I'm really sorry. I f***ed up. That is a fail on my part. One thing you should know about me is I will admit and apologize when I fail. I am far from perfect.
Some people brushed it off as sensationalism. Others wondered if there was truth to the stories. Even years later, fans still discuss this possible connection, using it as an example of Blake's so-called co-star attraction. While the Affleck rumors simmered, another big name emerged: Leonardo DiCaprio.
So she could start to rehabilitate her reputation, which got smeared because she turned out to be not a very nice person in the videos released last summer.
I'm just still kind of blown away that this is the industry that we're in and that you've experienced that as a woman. And
the relationship, or fling as some call it, between Blake and Leo was short-lived, lasting roughly 5 months in 2011, but it generated substantial headlines. They were seen on yachts, strolling in the most glamorous destinations, and seemingly enjoying every moment of a whirlwind romance. What sparked their involvement, if anything, on a professional level is unclear, since they didn't appear in a major film together. Still, many pointed out how the timing aligned with Leo's search for the perfect Daisy in The Great Gatsby, a role Blake reportedly auditioned for but never secured.
Those heads I'm just still kind of blown away that this is the industry that we're in and that you've experienced that as a woman. And I know I don't need to say it, but that's not at all going to be or will be, and hopefully it's not been the experience with me.
Whether or not the relationship was an offshoot of that audition process is anyone's guess. Regardless, the public devoured every paparazzi shot of them together. Then, as abruptly as it began, it all faded out. By the end of 2011, talk of them as a couple had vanished.
Blake knows that, Ryan knows that, and now Justin Baldoni is just basically saying, I fold.
Yet, if you line up the men in Blake's life at that point, Kelly Blatz, Penn Badgley, rumored Ben Affleck closeness, and Leonardo DiCaprio, it was difficult not to wonder if there was a consistent thread. People started calling her a Hollywood heartbreaker, though it might just be the nature of the industry. Talented performers cross paths constantly, and real connections do happen. But the speculation refused to die, setting the stage for her next and far more enduring romance. In 2010, Blake joined the set of Green Lantern alongside Ryan Reynolds.
Blake Lively says Ryan Reynolds wrote the scene. Okay, so he gave her what she wanted, included her scene, shot the scene.
At the time, both were in other relationships. Ryan was married to Scarlett Johansson, while Blake was still technically linked to Penn. Working so closely together, especially on a big budget film, often leads to strong bonds. But fans who closely watch the timeline notice that they seem to grow friendlier with each passing day. Publicly, both denied any hint of a fling or overlap. They insisted their relationship was strictly platonic during filming. The rumors really picked up. After the two admitted that once Green Lantern wrapped, they went on a double date with other people, yet spent the entire evening engaged only with each other. It was apparently so obvious that everyone around them realized there was a deeper connection. Soon after, both separated from their previous partners for good. Within a year, Blake and Ryan were exclusive. The speed of the transition fueled speculation. Some believed they'd begun their romance sooner than publicly stated. Others simply accepted they had fallen for each other once they were free to do so. Regardless, they married in 2012 and have maintained one of Hollywood's most idolized relationships. After all, they share playful banter on social media, appear at each other's premieres, and talk openly about building a large, happy family. To many, it looked as though Blake had finally broken whatever cycle she'd been accused of following. The public had grown accustomed to the swirl of gossip that trailed her previous relationships, but the Ryan Reynolds era felt stable. That is, until talk of her next big project ignited a fresh wave of speculation. Fast forward to Blake's recent involvement in the film adaptation of It Ends With Us, where she stars alongside Justin Baldoni. On the surface, it appeared to be a straightforward project. A popular novel turned into a movie, 2 appealing leads, and a storyline that promised high emotional impact. But then, murmurs began circulating about behind-the-scenes issues, unexpected tension, and suspicious text messages. A few anonymous tips and a handful of cryptic social media comments were enough to send the rumor mill into overdrive. Online forums and social media communities floated the theory that Blake might have developed feelings for her co-star. The story gained traction when, according to these accounts, her longtime marriage to Ryan Reynolds hit a rough patch simultaneously. Critics of the rumor pointed out that Justin is happily married and known for his strong commitment to his family. Could it all be just guesswork from fans hungry for drama? Still, in some circles, people swear there's more substance to the chatter. They cite alleged legal conflicts and hush-hush lawsuits, insisting it's all an attempt to control an emerging scandal. Others interpret everything as a simple mismatch of personalities, nothing more. If there's one thing Blake's track record demonstrates, it's that she has faced speculation about her relationship since the very start. Whether innocent or not, she has become a magnet for these rumors whenever she's filming a romantic lead role. Adding fuel to the fire, some insiders claim that Blake took aggressive steps to control how the Justin Baldoni story was perceived. According to certain online sleuths, there may have been claims of emotional harm or even assault in the context of text exchanges, accusations that skeptics labeled tactical and designed to protect her image. Others argue that if she really felt threatened or disrespected in some way, she should be free to stand her ground without judgment. At the core of all this stands one unifying question. Is there actual evidence of a romance or wrongdoing? Or is this just another tall tale that caught fire on the internet? For every rumor, there's a denial. For every shady text screenshot, there's a plausible explanation. But it's exactly this gray area that keeps viewers and gossip hounds so captivated. The phenomenon isn't new in Hollywood. Co-stars fall in love all the time, or at least get painted into that narrative. The difference with Blake Lively is how often and how publicly these stories pop up whenever she headlines a project. Maybe it's her genuinely flirtatious nature. Maybe the tabloids just latched on after a couple of coincidences. Or maybe, as some fans insist, she simply can't resist the emotional intimacy of a shared film set. So, does Blake Lively truly have a pattern of getting too close for comfort with her co-stars? Let's lay out the pieces. She was with Kelly Blatz in her early days. Then Penn Badgley during Gossip Girl moved on to rumored closeness with Ben Affleck in The Town, had a publicly documented, if short, fling with Leonardo DiCaprio, and eventually married Ryan Reynolds, whom she met on Green Lantern. Now tongues are wagging over her recent project with Justin Baldoni. Each time, the stories revolve around the idea that working side by side on set can blur the lines between fiction and reality. Supporters say that the rumor mill exaggerates the timeline and emotional complexities of these relationships. Critics point to the repeated pattern. Each time she signs onto a new film or show with a leading man, the media and fans are on high alert for any personal entanglement. The truth might lie somewhere in between. She could naturally be the type of person who forms strong bonds through her art, while the media simultaneously amplifies every single step she takes. Ultimately, Hollywood thrives on intrigue, and audiences have come to expect at least a few scandalous tales from every big production. Perhaps that's why so many fans are fascinated by Blake Lively. She's navigated romance in a public way from the moment she came of age in the industry. Whether you believe she actively courts these rumors or simply ends up in the wrong spotlight, at the wrong time, her name rarely escapes the orbit of speculation.